Today, we are talking about the enigmatic queen Nefertiti, whose portrait bust has enthralled millions since its discovery. We will talk about her history, her ethnicity, a possible mummy, and the question of this famous Berlin bust being a forgery. And of course, we will reveal multiple statue recreations, both past and modern. This is the story of one of the most beautiful women of all time. So let's get started. She is the Mona Lisa of the ancient world. Her face is perhaps the most recognized profile in human history, second only to the Sphinx. High cheekbones, a swan-like neck, and a mysterious smile that has captivated the world for over 3,000 years. Her name was Nefertiti. To most, she is simply a symbol of beauty. But beneath that painted limestone calm lies a story of radical revolution, religious fanaticism, and unmatched female power. She was not just a pretty face. She was a warrior, a priestess, and quite possibly a pharaoh in her own right.
She lived during the most chaotic period of ancient Egypt's history, the Amarna period. Alongside her husband, she overthrew the gods, built a new capital in the desert, and challenged the very fabric of Egyptian society. And then, she vanished. Did she die of a plague? Did she rule as a king? Is her mummy hiding in plain sight, or is it lost to the sands forever? From the latest 2026 archaeological updates to the secrets of her DNA, we are peeling back the layers of the Sun Queen. To understand the Queen, we must first find the girl. Born around 1370 BC, Nefertiti arrived at the height of Egypt's golden age. The 18th dynasty was wealthy, powerful, and stable. But who was she? For decades, early Egyptologists loved the romantic idea that she was a foreign princess, perhaps from the Mitanni kingdom in modern-day Syria. It was a tempting theory, the exotic beauty coming from afar. However, modern scholarship has largely rejected this.
The consensus today is that Nefertiti was homegrown, a daughter of the Egyptian elite. Most evidence points to a man named Ai, a high-ranking courtier and master of the chariotry, who would eventually become Pharaoh himself. In the tombs of Amarna, we find inscriptions mentioning Ai's wife, Te, as the nurse of the great royal wife. This specific title suggests Te was Nefertiti's stepmother or wet nurse, making Ai her likely biological father. This would place Nefertiti right in the inner circle of the royal court from birth, growing up alongside the future king. Her name, Nefertiti, is a prophecy in itself. It translates to, "The beautiful one has come." And when she married the young pharaoh Amenhotep IV, she stepped onto a stage that was about to catch fire. When Nefertiti's husband, Amenhotep IV, took the throne, Egypt worshipped a vast pantheon of gods, with Amun-Ra as the king of them all.
The priesthood of Amun was incredibly powerful, arguably wealthier than the pharaoh himself. But the young couple had a different vision, a radical one. In the early years of their reign, they initiated what we now call the Amarna Revolution. They declared that there was only one god worthy of worship, the Aten, the literal sun disk. This was not just a preference, it was the world's first state-sponsored monotheism. They closed the ancient temples, they defaced the names of Amun, and they did something even more shocking. They abandoned the capital of Thebes. They moved the entire court to a virgin patch of desert in Middle Egypt, a place where no god had been worshipped before. They called it Akhetaten, the horizon of the Aten. Today, we know it as Amarna. This was a city built for the sun. Unlike the dark, mysterious sanctuaries of the old gods, the new temples were open to the sky, roofless, allowing the blinding rays of the Aten to pour down upon the royal couple. And standing right there, bathing in that light, was Nefertiti. She was not just a passive observer. In this new religion, you could not pray to the Aten directly. You had to pray to the Pharaoh and the Queen, who were the sole intermediaries. They formed a divine triad: the sun god, the king, and the queen. Nefertiti became a living goddess. If you look at the art from this period, you notice something strange. In traditional Egyptian art, the pharaoh is a giant and the queen is a tiny figure by his knee. But in Amarna, Nefertiti is frequently depicted at the same scale as her husband. She is shown driving her own chariot, a privilege usually reserved for the king. In one stunning block found at Karnak, she is depicted in the classic smiting pose, grabbing the enemies of Egypt by the hair and raising a mace to strike them. This is an image of masculine, kingly power. For a queen to be shown this way was virtually unheard of. She also adopted a new, longer name, Neferuaten Nefertiti. This translates to, "Beautiful are the beauties of Aten. The beautiful one has come." It was a public declaration of her status as the high priestess of the new order. But the art did not just show power, it showed intimacy. For the first time, we see a royal family acting like a family. We see Nefertiti and Akhenaten kissing. We see them bouncing their daughters on their knees. They had 6 daughters in total, all of whom shared unusual prominence during the reign of their father. There were no sons. These 6 princesses are everywhere in the art, emphasizing the fertility and humanity of the royal couple. Yet this artistic revolution also brought us the strange, alien-like depictions of Akhenaten, the elongated face, the swollen belly. While Nefertiti retains her beauty, she too is shown in this Amarna style, a radical departure from the rigid, idealized perfection of the past. The idol in the desert could not last. Around the 12th year of Akhenaten's reign, tragedy struck. The historical record becomes fragmented, but we see scenes of mourning. The second daughter, Meketaten, died, possibly from childbirth or a plague that was sweeping through the ancient Near East at the time. And then, shortly after a massive festival known as the Durbar in year 12, Nefertiti vanishes. Her name stops appearing in the inscriptions. For a long time, historians assumed she had fallen out of favor or died of the same plague that took her daughter. Had the beautiful queen met a tragic end? But recent scholarship has offered a much more intriguing theory. She did not disappear because she died. She disappeared because she was promoted. When Akhenaten died, the throne passed to a mysterious figure named Smenkhkare, and then to a ruler named Ankh-Kheperure Neferuaten. Look closely at that name, Neferuaten. It is the exact name Nefertiti adopted years earlier. Leading Egyptologists now believe that Nefertiti did not die. Instead, as Akhenaten's health failed, he elevated her to co-regent. She ruled alongside him as a male king would. Upon his death, she likely became the sole pharaoh of Egypt, ruling for a brief period before the boy king Tutankhamun took the throne. There is evidence that she may have even begun the process of reconciliation, softening the radical religious bands to stabilize the country before her death. If this theory holds, Nefertiti was not just a queen consort, she was one of the few women to ever hold full pharaonic power, joining the ranks of Hatshepsut and Cleopatra. So where is she now? For over a century, archaeologists have scoured the Valley of the Kings for her tomb. In 1898, a mummy known as the Younger Lady was found in tomb KV35. For years, there was speculation that this was Nefertiti.
The mummy has a shaved head and a brutal, gaping wound in the face, a posthumous injury inflicted by tomb robbers, or perhaps a lethal blow. However, DNA testing has complicated the story. Genetic analysis confirms the Younger Lady is the mother of Tutankhamun and the daughter of Amenhotep III. This would make her Akhenaten's full sister. Since we know Nefertiti was likely the daughter of the courtier Ai, not a royal sister, the Younger Lady is likely not Nefertiti. So the search continues. As of 2026, renowned archaeologist Dr. Zahi Hawass continues his excavations in the East Valley of the Kings. He has hinted at discovering a new tomb that could belong to the Amarna period royals. Is it possible that Nefertiti is still out there, waiting in a sealed chamber, surrounded by the gold of a pharaoh? Hawass has promised that 2026 could be the year the history books are rewritten. Until we find her body, we are left with her face.
In 1912, a German archaeological team led by Ludwig Borchardt was digging in the ruins of Amarna, specifically in the workshop of the royal sculptor Thutmose. There, buried upside down in the sand, they found it, the bust. It is made of limestone covered in painted stucco. It depicts the queen in her tall, flat-topped blue crown, a crown unique to her. The colors were miraculously preserved: the blue of the headdress, the gold of the diadem, the red of her lips. But there is one chilling detail. The left eye is missing. It is not broken. It was simply never inserted. Was it a sculptor's model, left unfinished to demonstrate technique? Or was it a deliberate slight? We may never know. Since its discovery, the bust has resided in Berlin, despite repeated requests from the Egyptian government for its return. It remains one of the most contested artifacts in the world, a symbol of colonial appropriation and timeless beauty. Nefertiti was more than a face on a museum pedestal.
She was a revolutionary who tried to change the world. She walked beside a heretic king, smashed the idols of the old gods, and raised 6 daughters in a city of the sun. Whether she died a queen or ruled as a king, her impact is undeniable. 3,000 years later, the beautiful one has indeed come forth, and she refuses to be forgotten. What do you think happened to Nefertiti? Did she rule as a pharaoh, or did she fall victim to the chaos of the Amarna period? And do you think the Berlin bust should be returned to Egypt? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 18th dynasty, don't forget to like and subscribe to Now Studios for more history brought to life. See you in the next one.